Welcome back to the Cosmic Kickback. We are now available, if you're listening to, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts now. So if you're listening audio only, welcome to the squad. Today we're discussing hoe culture.
Speak of it like it's some high culture thing.
Well, it could be. I mean, we were going to discuss 2019 in review, but we're pushing that to next week because we got some special guests on today. Today's topic was actually thought of by Michael.
Oh my god.
Let's introduce our guest.
Yeah, here we go. We got to my left here. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see. If you're not, we'll let you know on everywhere else. We got the king of Tinder himself, Michael.
Boy, creator.
Michael Geyer, he here.
Michael the creator.
Doesn't like dispute that title. He's like, yeah.
Michael the creator of Tinder.
Tinder, Henry, Clover, all of them.
To Michael's left, we have Krish. He's here to provide the opposite end of the spectrum because Krish said he's had zero experience with any girls.
No hoes.
God damn, like that shit. Alright. I see.
The Eagle Scout.
Yeah.
Eagle Scout.
To my right, we
I'm
got
just getting
Nick.
that bread.
Got Nick as usual. What's that?
Who's that?
I think it's my dad's phone.
Oh.
Whatever.
Okay. To my right, we have
Hey, that's the
the
background.
weekly
Perfect
co-host.
timing.
Then we have our other guest today, Elijah.
Yeah.
Elijah, you excited for today's topic?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a very interesting topic.
How do you want to dive into it then? Because I think everyone just has like different experiences.
You can start with the person that has the most experience.
I agree.
Okay.
Why don't we just
Or
all
the least.
we
How
can
about
all.
we go like from least to greatest.
No. Let's start
Least to
with the top.
greatest?
Well, let's talk about like
Yeah.
pretty much what happened in like your pretty much like romantic life last year. Like
Romantic life in
I guess
general.
everyone in general.
Everybody in general?
Yeah.
Alright, Krish, go ahead.
And how? Okay. We'll start with Krish.
Alright, Krish.
Repeat that topic again.
How was your romantic life last year?
It was pretty dry. I would
Nice.
say, I don't know. I spent more time trying to get that bread.
Hey, that's
Okay,
respectable.
respectable.
Yeah.
You got it?
I don't know.
Yeah, you got
I
it?
was working on. Not kind of, sort of. I got into my dream school.
You got like a slice?
Oh,
A
that's
little
good.
bit, yeah.
Slice of it.
Yeah, you got a
Yeah.
slice of the whole loaf. You coming back this year? You
Yeah.
get the whole
You
thing.
gonna get the whole
Oh, jeez.
Didn't try to work on a couple girls, but didn't work out. So
Yeah.
I guess God's not in my favor right now.
What would you
Go
want? You want to
You're
talk?
blaming God.
I don't know.
This man.
Shout out to all the cats.
Reed, do you want to? Do you talk about? You told me there was some girl you were talking to.
Oh, that shit
and
was
the whole
rough.
time she had a boyfriend, right?
Yeah, okay.
What? Oh my god. That's how
Alright,
it's in
so-
TV shows.
I didn't know this one chick had a boyfriend. And I'm just chilling and we're talking and all that stuff. And we get closer as friends and stuff. And then like later on, we have like another person in like our friend group. And then he just like sees her Snapchat and like some dude in like number 1 on like the Snap streak, whatever, the best friend. And then he calls her out. I was like, "Yo, who's that?" And then she just like passes it off, like kind of like suspectly, like what the heck, who's that? And then I don't know. I just try to keep going, trying to get it, and then
Trying to get it.
but
What were you trying to get?
Yeah, what are you trying to
I'm
get
just trying to get a
exactly?
relationship.
Okay.
I just-
Well,
I
just for other people like Michael.
I'm
Get it, Michael's something else, but we'll get into that.
I'm just trying to get a girlfriend, trying to be
Okay.
happy. I don't really care. I don't know, something nice.
I feel you.
Similar to like what you have. I don't know. But later we find out that it's like a boyfriend that she's almost had for almost a year.
Damn.
And then like this dude's almost like not necessarily, she claims that she's not in it for the money, but after hearing about this dude's banking. Like
this dude's got money.
Yeah, straight out
Dude,
of high school.
This sounds like just a gold digger hoe. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's on her.
Yeah,
She's
it's
the one
on
that has the
her.
boyfriend.
I know.
And you were just
But
like, hey.
she told me she wasn't into money like that.
Wait. So she literally just came up and said, "Oh, I'm not dating him for the money."
No, because I asked her because like this.
You asked her, "Are you
Yeah.
gold digging?"
No, and I was like, "Yo, you gold digging?" And no, but I mean like we're close friends though. And then
okay.
what's it called? And she's like, no, I'm not in it for the money. And then I look at a picture of this dude. I'm like, yo, this dude's ugly as hell. There's no way. And then, all right,
You must be funny or something.
yeah. Straight out of high school, this dude's making like 90K, like something
Wow.
crazy.
A year?
Yeah, just something crazy. And I'm like, what the
Is he
hell?
trapping?
What's he
Yeah,
doing?
is he
I
trapping?
honestly have no idea what he's doing.
He's gotta be.
But but it's just like some chubby white dude, and I'm just like, what the heck? All right. But now I'm just passing on.
He
She
might be
obviously didn't
tackling.
like me back, so I'm gonna find somebody who does. Because
Okay.
I think I'm a catch. So
Dude, you are.
Alright.
Yeah.
we'll see.
I'll date you.
All right.
I did you.
We ought to know Nick's bisexual.
Oh, yeah. Put the disclaimer over there or something.
Disclaimer.
Nick's
I did that.
Tinder,
It's a joke.
Nick's Tinder, Bumble, Christian Mingle, they'll all be down in the description.
I'm not
bro.
a Christian member, dude. I'm probably.
Black people
Alright,
need that
did you see? Oh yeah, did you see the? They have a new dating app for trans people.
Well,
So they're like, oh shit, Chris.
Yeah, we do
God,
gotta be
Chris.
PC, dude.
Yeah,
Wait,
what
wait,
was
hold
that?
on.
What was that?
Susan Wojcinski's gonna like
Damn.
strike us.
Yeah. Holy shit, Chris. No, I was. It's a new thing. It just came out. Or at least I just found out about it. It's a dating app for people that are like trans or whatever. And it sounds like a good idea if I was trans, like, cause it says
Yeah.
people are like, bro, yeah, I'm not here.
It's a demographic.
It's because like people that are on other things, I guess they're like, oh, I like this person, but then they don't know that they're trans, and they're like, oh, like what the hell, you catfishing me? It's just like, nah, bro, like. So this is for people like they already know in advance. So I guess
I
yeah.
feel like there's like a
Can you imagine like the
for
freaking
everything
filter
now.
for that? Just like all like 65.
Dude,
Gen- like, I just want
there's,
someone that's
there's infinite amount of genders, Nick.
There's
I don't know anything.
infinity amount.
I think the
I'm not
real question
educated
is,
enough to have a conversation.
Is
Yeah,
Michael
I don't
on
want
this
to
one?
talk about all that.
Yeah,
I just
then-
wanted to bring up that that's a
Yo,
thing.
Josh,
yeah,
the real question is Michael on this one also?
Oh my god.
He's like,
dude.
Michael, which ones are you on? So,
Tinder and Bumble.
here, lean up real quick.
I'm on
Come to
I'm
the
on
mic.
Tinder and Bumble.
Lean up forward like I am.
Bro, I'm just
I
chilling.
want to have a
Straight
conversation with you.
Okay.
Like this. Okay. So
I
you're.
got, I got Tinder like last year. Didn't you and I both make
Who's
one?
on Tinder?
No, I never made one.
I thought
who-
you did.
No, I was just
No.
asking you like.
That night at Josh's.
Yeah,
party.
no, Elijah was just.
Oh,
Yeah, I was just asking. I never made one though.
Oh.
Wait, who here is
Oh.
on Tinder?
I got
I use
All
it, but
three of them.
it's
Nick,
kind of
oh,
sucks.
damn.
Yeah.
So Nick, Michael, Krish.
You can't win unless you pay for that shit.
Michael pays for
I
it.
did.
Big example. There you go. Not even like just yeah.
No, Michael. So let's hear your side of the dating / hoe culture. What do you? How do you pull on Tinder?
How do I pull on
Well,
Tinder?
just in general, tell us about your. Give us a quick backstory on who you are and what you think of the culture. How many you pulled? Because before.
What's your stat?
Yo, mine was good.
my body count.
I just
No,
want
no,
to say
no, no, no.
before Michael goes into it that Krish, we wanted two people on opposite ends of the spectrum. So Krish was at the bottom and Michael was like Michael is our epitome of. I'm not saying he's a hoe. I'm just saying that he has
Not
the
anymore.
he has the most. Oh, not
He's a
anymore.
poet, Jason.
He said not anymore. I didn't even know this dude was a hoe. I'm just saying he has the most experience. That's how I'm gonna say it. So
Like, well, what was the question like that you want to ask first? Sorry.
okay. Wait,
What was like
Give
the
us
Well,
first-
no, just like what was your opinion or how was your dating life like within the past year?
within the past year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at the start of the year, it was more like just I would talk to like one or more girls, and then towards like the midpoint, I just started talking to like one girl.
were you trying to settle down?
See, the thing about that, the moments, and y'all kind of, I feel like you've kind of like, I've kind of talked to you about this.
Talk to the
Each
people
time,
about this.
each time I try to settle down with a girl, it's like ends up either like they're leading me on or like it just gets fucked.
So are you saying? What are you saying? They're hoes?
I mean, like, I don't know, bro.
Might just be like.
I'm not saying like they're hoes. It's just like, bro, like, they're so wishy washy with like what they want to be and what they want to do. Like there was one girl that was always like just so wishy washy with her answers. Like I'd ask her like, oh, like, what are we like? It seems like we're growing like more closer together. Like, do you think like we could be like a relationship?
Are you gonna
anytime
name
soon?
drop?
No, I'm not.
You're not putting her on blast. Because we can do that.
No, I'm not gonna.
We
do
could.
that. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
name blast.
You don't
We
put
can-
her on blast.
We can send
No,
everybody
no,
to
no,
last
we
time-
can
Chris
send-
didn't do it.
we can send them all
Last
to her
time
Instagram.
someone name dropped, I had to go in and edit it because then afterwards they were like, "Wait, I don't want you to name drop."
Yeah,
was
no,
that
I-
one posted at all?
That was the 4
Oh,
hour.
that was that
Well,
one?
they don't know about it if they're listening on Spotify. That's like a hidden
Oh, yeah.
episode.
Oh,
But like,
Hey, check it out.
Before the Cosby
done
Kickback
was 4
started.
hours, bro.
Before we
Well,
went
you
under the
posted
Cosby
it,
Kickback.
right?
Yeah.
You can't like advise people not to watch it.
If- yeah, so everyone that's listening on like Spotify and Apple Podcasts, before we like rebranded the podcast, there's like 5 episodes that just aren't on like podcast listening platforms.
When we were first starting out.
Yeah,
It's only on YouTube.
it's like the pilot season.
Yeah. So
You
we're
want to
more
check that out?
we're more official
Yeah,
now.
they're pretty gold, honestly.
They're more
You want OG Nick?
It's
OG
the,
Josh?
the OG Nick, OG
OG.
Josh.
It's like a year ago, dude.
Was it really that long?
Yeah, it was a year.
Yeah.
We started in like December or
it took,
March.
so it took us a year to make 7 episodes.
Hey, bro, it's better than 0.
Yeah,
yeah, I
it's
agree
better
with
than 0.
Hopefully we got more this year. But
Hey.
Hey.
Back to the topic. Again.
okay, so you're not name dropping. She was.
Well,
Was
no,
she
'cause, yeah, I don't want.
What do you mean by that? She was.
It's like because I would
So she would be not telling you what you guys are or what?
like I basically ask her. There'd be moments where I'd ask her like, okay, like so what are we like, or there'd be moments where I'd be like, oh, like well, would you like to meet my parents anytime soon? And then she'd be like, oh well, no, because what if something happens to us and then like I don't want them to know about me, and then them like not like me, and I was like, they're not gonna do that.
Wait, how
And
long were
then-
you talking to that girl?
I was talking to her for probably
He's like 2 weeks in. You want to meet my
like
parents?
I was talking to her for probably like March through like the summer.
God. No.
And then just shit happened. But
Wait,
like
is this the one? I'm not gonna name drop. Is this the one that was into raves and raving?
yeah.
Did she go to
Um,
UTSA?
She's on the
No, no, no.
bills.
Oh, people that rave like you.
But yeah, so y'all probably know her, or at least you for sure. But yeah, it
This
just
is
got
when we went to
Gains.
we went to a
Yeah.
restaurant and then everyone followed her. And then they
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
and then they're like, bro, this her.
Wait,
Like,
does her name start with a T?
no.
Okay. I feel like I.
starts with an
Yeah.
But
But
gosh, you're name dropping on this
You're
way.
like-
no, not exactly.
They're gonna
But
piece it together.
Yeah, exactly.
What
No one's
ethnicity
gonna
is she?
find out who it is, bro.
but like
Michael, send her a link to this.
Yeah, I like how
podcast.
she didn't want to meet your
Oh,
parents
Michael.
'cause out of fear of like messing up and like not being
Yeah.
liked, and now she's
well
just
that
gonna
that
be
was
on
her
a podcast.
that was like
Yeah.
her
What's
excuse.
worse?
Well, I'd like to ask you a question because I have some information on this topic because I know what you're speaking of. I'm not gonna put you on blast. I'm not putting anyone on blast. I just have a question. Well, from what I heard, I don't know if this is true. You can set the record straight. No, I'm not exposing. I'm not
Yeah.
exposing. I'm just what I heard was she thought you guys were just like fuck buddies, and she was like, yeah, like if Michael wanted something more serious, he could have just told me that, or like if he wanted just to be fuck buddies, he could have told me that. I would have been
Bro,
cool
that's
with either
Michael.
one. And then she said, but like since Michael lying, like I'm gonna have to like.
We never fucked. That's
Oh,
the thing.
shit, okay.
Like,
Oh,
bro, she like
This might be the first like
we
Breaking
explicit
news.
podcast.
Bro.
you know, we never fucked, and
Oh
then
wait,
like
okay.
yeah, and if anything, like
Michael just
I literally like, bro, remember the there was one night where you were like, bro, like if you are like something like ask her like, oh, are you
Oh my god, yeah.
like
For those of you who don't know, we were hanging out one time, and Michael was flexing on everyone. He's like, "Yeah, bro, like I got my new girl," and I was like, "Wait, like y'all dating?" And he was like, "Yeah," and we were like, "Well, hold on, you can't just like say you dating someone and like not tell the boys. Like, you gotta let squad know. Like, yo, bro, I'm like cuffed." So I was like, "Okay, who is she, Michael?" And he was just like, "Oh," and then like, what you mean, like Michael? No, I'm not trying to roast. I'm just giving you context on what happened.
I'm not trying to roast.
And then I, pretty much long story short, is I was like, yo, Michael, wait, are you actually dating? And Cody claimed cap. So I was like, okay, like, Michael, you capping? He's like, no. So I was like, okay, like text her, like, because if I were to text my girlfriend, yo, we're dating, right? Then she's probably gonna be like, what the fuck? Why you asking me that? Like, duh. So I was like, oh, Michael, like, text her, like, yo,
I think I like text
my
her. I was
girl,
like,
right?
oh, you're my girlfriend, right? Like,
Then you said she just fucking.
she said, like, no, not yet, and I was like, okay.
Damn, bro.
Dude,
How did you like come to the conclusion that you thought you were?
Like that it's just cause like
Because at some point you always get, like, my last relationship, like, we were friends for a while, and then, like, one day I used to walk her from class, and then we just started holding hands, like, are we a thing now? Like, I just asked her in, like, some sort of way.
well, like that's the thing, like it was weird cause, well, I guess it wasn't cause obviously like at work we weren't like holding hands or anything,
keep it low key.
there's like disclosure,
Yeah, I
like
guess it was that.
she did work with me, but like I kind of like thought of that like, okay, well, it's work, we're supposed to be like professional, like it's supposed to be like a professional atmosphere, and then like out of work and everything, like we'd be holding hands and all that, and like we'd be going out on like dates and everything.
Dropping pipe.
No, I just
Oh no, I got you.
but no, and like it went good. Like, okay, like that night, that was like when we were still kind of like just going on a couple dates. But as it grew more, that's when I kind of like was like, okay, well, she
Got
like
feelings?
actually, yeah, no, I was literally like catching feelings for this girl. And it got to the point where
You got something to say?
No, no,
I didn't say anything. Bro, he's
instigating.
instigating.
Bro.
But then, yeah.
Dude, we have to have a soundboard next.
Oh my
God.
gosh.
Cap.
At the point.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and then it got to the point where I'd be like, oh, like, are we something serious? Like, or are you ready to be something serious? And like it gets to like that kind of like moment, like when it's like real talk, like, okay, like, do you want to be in a relationship with me or do you not? And she'd be like, well, like, I would like to eventually, but I still like this like just like dating and talking phase. And I was like,
Let's
okay,
just say like this other guy. I was like,
That's what I thought.
leave,
bro.
like
Okay,
that.
yeah, like that'd be immediate. But no, she just kept like that would be her kind of answer like to everything. Is like, oh no, like I still like this just like low key like dating phase.
Girls are like that, bro.
And I was like,
They're just like,
I was like, okay. And eventually, like, it just never became anything with us.
Yeah.
Be like that sometimes.
But I mean,
that's the best advice ever.
Be like that all the time.
but like, that was like one example, and there was like a couple more like before that.
Was this one of the girls that you were talking like, just like you would go from like girl to girl and not like?
No. This was like actually when I just stopped.
So
like I cut off
talking to
other
others.
people.
Damn.
This is like one of
That's
those
like that.
girls where like I actually started talking to. I caught feelings and I just cut off everybody.
You think she did the
You're
same
like
thing?
loyal to someone that wasn't your girlfriend. That happens.
I
a
mean,
lot.
I thought she did, and it seemed like
That
we
happens a
both.
lot. Isn't that weird?
Well, it's like weird because
That's what I
with
did.
us, it felt like we like cut off everybody else, and like we wanted to be like something, but she just never like, yeah, she just like never gave me like, oh yeah, like confirm like, yeah, we're something, like we can be something serious. Like it was just always just a wishy-washy answer.
Mm.
And I mean, like,
So you back on the hoe grind now.
I mean, not really. I'm just kind of just working and
Well.
stuff.
What you working on?
I'm working 2 jobs at Six Flags.
Oh,
and
okay. I
at
thought you
HB.
meant you were
No,
working.
no.
Okay.
I have a project coming in.
No, that's
Working
what I.
on me.
My YouTube channel.
Good, we'll plug it.
Yeah, Michael, plug yourself.
Plug anything.
You streaming tonight?
I am streaming.
Where can we watch the stream at, Michael?
You can watch the stream on Mixer. Actually, I think I'm gonna do it during the day, and then I low key might do it again at night. I don't know if you want to stream during the day.
I don't know. I'll check my schedule.
You put the link in the bio.
I'll put Michael's link at the very
One of many
bottom.
things.
All right.
It's in the
Our
bio.
description is like,
Yeah.
it's always so many links.
It's like link.
We do a lot.
We
Hey,
do.
gamer
A
subs.
lot of plugs.
We
We be
got,
doing a lot.
we do a lot. Got
Yeah.
Nick's Tinder in the
Don't back it up.
Nick's Tinder, Krish.
I don't
Tinder,
think you
my
can do
Tinder.
that, can you? Because Tinder's random. It's based on.
Yeah.
I think you low key. I don't know.
I don't think
Do
No.
you like
said-
search for profiles like you do on Instagram or not?
I don't think you can.
If someone has like a Tinder profile and they have their Insta, it's easier to just find them that way and DM them. Because like Tinder, it's like
Yeah.
they get the
They gotta
picture.
accept you,
Yeah.
so that way you can get anyone even if they don't like you.
Be a stalker.
You can be like that guy in You.
Dude,
Have you
I wish
watched
I
it?
would finish the first season so we could talk about it low key.
We
I
can
could
talk
pertain
about
to
it.
This.
We can talk about it next episode.
I want.
Okay.
Okay.
It would work on this,
The
but yeah.
TV show. Have you heard You?
I'm kind of curious.
Oh yeah,
on,
I heard that's a really good show.
on Elijah's stance in hoe culture.
Elijah's next up. Michael was going for a while.
I don't have nothing going on. I'll just say that right now.
So you saying you like Krish?
No, what the?
Well, basically, yeah.
Okay. What's your stance like on the hoe culture? The way things are now. When we say hoe culture, I mean like the way dating is nowadays. The way people
Dating.
are.
What do you call it? Hoe culture.
Well, because like
It's
that's
more fun to call it.
that's what it is, bro.
we could
I'm not roasting. You can do what you want.
When I think of hoe, I think of girls, and that's like.
We could
Guys,
That's just
Hey,
because like
yo,
how I'm like conditioned,
hold
bro.
up.
Like
We
guys
could-
can be.
Damn.
Guys can be. Okay,
Yeah,
now I'm coming off
hold
as a
up.
misogynist.
Hang on. Hang on. Let's calm it down. Okay, Nick speaks for himself. I don't think is of girls
He's
is
not
hoe.
No, just like my
That's his
default,
brand.
but like as I'm like, oh wait, it also
That's your
pertains to guys.
default
as
for
well.
girls.
Yeah, I say everybody.
Just so we're
nowadays.
clear, it also pertains to guys.
Everybody, I think
Oh.
nowadays, not everybody, most people are like they're in the hoe phase. I feel like I don't know if it's
Why
because
don't we
of
just
social
call it
media.
dating in 2020?
Michael,
I agree with Michael on that.
Or dating
I
in
100%
2000.
agree with Michael on that because that's just how I feel like that's
That's
just
how
dating
it is nowadays.
Yeah.
Josh is like one of the few where like it's an actual like.
It's not like dating in
He
the
like
50s,
put like a
bro.
label on it as like a whole phase
Yeah.
or whole culture or whatever.
Yeah,
But
being
for me,
single
I
doesn't
just
mean
think
you're a
it's just
hoe. It
regular
just means
dating.
like.
Yeah, see
I
that's the
ain't saying
thing.
that.
Like you don't have to be a hoe
I'm
and
not
be.
saying
Yeah.
No, yeah, but
Same chill.
what do you think of all that, Elijah? The way it
I
is.
mean, I don't honestly. I don't have an issue with
You
it.
trying to
Like I said, I just
on the
think
hoe?
it's like Michael said. It's like dating, just modern day dating.
Yeah.
You're just kind of like, oh, like you live your life how you live your
Yeah,
life.
I think Elijah's very I don't care, like whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah,
Bro,
People-
Elijah,
people
like,
are gonna
low-
do what they want.
Elijah low-key like have some moves like just like in the making, just never tell.
Elijah moves in silence.
Yeah,
He keeps
Like
all his
lasagna.
yeah.
Like the G in lasagna.
Yeah.
like the gym lasagna.
Elijah hides all his anything he's working on. He keeps it private. I
Oh.
feel like there's a whole different side of Elijah we don't
That's
know.
what Krish.
Wait, hang on. Elijah, do you know the hold on. Control Sam?
Yeah, control the sound.
Dude,
Show this dude, bro.
Do you know Elijah? You know the show You? Have you heard of it?
Nah,
It's on Netflix. It's about a guy who he gets fascinated by some girl. Like he likes her. It's like a modern day Michael, and
Even modern day anybody.
it's so he pretty much he gets fascinated with her, and then he like looks her up on social media and all this stuff because it's so easy to look people up nowadays, and he finds out all about her by looking at all of her social medias, and he ends up finding out where she lives because there's a picture of her house in the photo. So he's like he pulls up on her, he's like watching her through the windows, and he goes from there, and he calculates how to get himself into her life by like researching her.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and he ends up being like really weird. And I won't spoil what happens, but there is murder involved. This dude's he says it's very Michael like. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
How,
it's
how would you rate the show 1 out of 10?
But we haven't even watched it.
Oh, you haven't
I've
watched
watched the first
I've watched it.
Okay,
Have you watched the whole thing?
I haven't watched it. I was just asking like what your rating would be.
I mean, I think it's interesting. Some things I don't like about it are to talk briefly on it. It's kind of I don't like how some parts of it are. It seems to me like some parts are edited or like, especially like I think it's more so early on, and maybe even a little bit. The second season not so much, but the first season, some parts are kind of like they're very reminiscent of like. Nick, you want to control the
You gotta
dog?
go outside.
Nick's dog is currently tweaking.
Let's do next year real
Yeah.
quick.
All right, so
Yeah,
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 no,
yeah.
but real quick on it, I'm just gonna say the show's good, but I don't like how some parts of it it's kind of like it's very reminiscent of like a teen, like drama type show, like
Oh,
Riverdale or something like that.
Twilight.
Yeah, I don't like that kind of stuff. But when it gets to the like more like serial killer type stuff, that's when I'm more interested in it. And it's more like, oh yeah, And it gets more into that as you get into it. But at first, there are certain parts you're like, bro, it's just like a freaking like rom-com. Like, come on, bro. But I would give it a solid 7.7 out of 10.
Just round it up.
Because it ain't an 8. I was going to say 8, but it's not an 8.
What's an 8 to you?
An 8 to me, it's like, it's a good movie. It's not amazing, but it's not bad.
Okay.
All right, respectable.
Yeah. But back to the Elijah, you kind of dodged the question.
Nah, I mean, like I said, I don't got anything going on really.
By you, Nick.
Yeah, let's get to Nick.
Yeah.
We heard Michael and Krish talk about, and Elijah talk about what they think of everything. What do you think of everything? Give us some backstory on you. Get a little group therapy session going
Oh
on.
yeah.
I think like Michael really needs some therapy. We gotta help him out.
Like what? What do you want to know?
Nick, you and I planned the episode.
I mean, I went through a breakup last year, like in the middle of summer.
Damn, that sucks. Thing. You never want to have that.
Yeah, and it was after we did long distance in college because I went to a college in El Paso, and like a whole year, and then I come back, and then like after we break up, and I would have preferred if she just did it while I was at college because I'd be like, oh, that's understandable. But
Because it's long distance. But it's like, oh, now it's not long distance. So why now?
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
Did you ever drop a roast, or is it?
huh?
Was it like?
Did I roast her?
No, no. I mean,
Wait,
like,
is this track coming on the album?
Yeah,
I mean,
did you do what Cody did?
Nick's got the his album dropping
It's a
soon.
mixtape.
Mixtape dropping
Oh,
soon.
shit.
When is it dropping?
Yeah,
I always
bro, when
ask
is
Y'all asked, are y'all really like
Dude,
anticipating it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
And
anticipating.
we're gonna play it
I'm
on
about
the
to stream
cast,
it.
bro.
Dude, we could have a listening podcast probably.
Bro, I'll
That'd be
fucking
pretty cool.
stream it on my like
Yeah.
mixer.
Exactly.
I got like
I would
a
play it
really
in the
hard
background.
song and then like really melodic songs.
Do you have a roast on the X?
I have a love song,
Do you drop bars?
but
on it?
actually I wrote it at the time we were together, so it kind of doesn't make sense now.
I mean, you could probably switch up like.
But it's already recorded, bro.
Oh shit! Never
I'm
mind.
not gonna
Damn.
change it. I'll keep it the way it is.
Damn.
Mm.
He's gonna pull an Uzi and wait a year.
Yeah, you gotta be like Cody. 'Cause Cody dropped a whole like.
Oh yeah,
bar
Cody.
We need to bring him on here just to rap.
We'll have
Yeah.
Cody
Oh
on
my
the cast.
God.
Even one
soon.
time we were just like,
Dude, I'm waiting for him to record at least one track.
His
dude.
freestyle
Bro.
songs are insane.
Cody has, for you those of you who don't know, Cody was on the episode where we talked Joker.
previous episode.
Yeah,
Or the previous.
yes, he had the same situation as Michael almost, maybe a little bit different. He was talking to this girl. I'm a name dropper because
I mean, honestly,
we haven't named dropped
you can-
nothing. It's fine. Her
You
name
can
is
probably name drop.
her name is Mar. Yeah, her name was
What the hell?
her
Wait.
full name was like Marisa Bell or something
Okay.
like
But
that.
everybody called her.
She just
I
called
was
him
thinking of
Mar.
somebody else.
I'll put the at in the. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
We gonna
bro.
put
If y'all want to roast,
Damn.
I'm just kidding.
Y'all
Well,
can follow her
just-
on IG. I'm
yeah.
playing.
Hit
Just
her
spend
up.
30 seconds
DM
of your day,
her.
send her a comment.
Okay, and
No,
back to it.
I can't speak for how Cody felt about her, but I feel like Cody caught the feels.
Bro.
I feel like this was Cody's first time, like, actually, like, oh crap, like, I might date this girl because she actually hung out with Cody, talked to Cody, and all that. And Elijah and I were actually there for when dude got ghosted.
Bro, it was.
Wait, were you there? Or was it
Uh,
just
no,
Elijah?
but he told me everything.
Okay,
about
Elijah
it.
and I were hanging out with Cody this day. And he'd been talking to this girl for a while, and then they were gonna go on a date. I don't know if this was their first date but Cody had said they'd been talking, and he said it that it felt like she was reciprocating like his.
Real quick, I
his
got some
intentions.
info, like some new kind of info that
Oh?
me and Cody kind of exposed her on.
Okay, you tell it
Yeah,
after.
I'll-
yeah, okay. But pretty much what happened, we're hanging out. Cody been talking to us throughout the day. He was like, "Yo, like tonight we're gonna be seeing." I think you were seeing Jumanji, right?
I don't remember which one.
The first one?
all
I think
know
it was the
movie.
first one. I think they were seeing the first Jumanji, if I remember correctly. And Cody said that the entire day of the date, she had not replied to any of his texts.
Yeah.
She just stopped replying.
Damn.
Didn't he call her
Yeah.
at one point?
I don't know if he called her. All I know is Elijah and I were hanging out with him. He's like, bro, should I be worried? Like, she hasn't said nothing. I was like, oh, she might be just waking up late. But by the time that we were eating lunch or dinner almost at Chipotle, it was like,
Yeah, we went and played Uno there, right?
yeah, we played Uno at Chipotle and we were eating, and Cody was sitting there like, he's like, bro, she still hasn't replied to movies in like 40 minutes. And we drove him there, and he was like, bro, he's like, honestly, he's like, could you guys just like wait here for like maybe 20 minutes? He's like, because I know her mom's taken her phone before. Maybe she just lost her phone and she'll still pull up to the date or something. And Can you guys just wait in the parking lot and I'll go stand in the front? So Cody goes up to the front. He's waiting for the girl. Elijah and I are sitting in the parking lot. I don't remember what we were saying, but by this point I was like, dude, she either got the phone taken or she's ghosting. And I was like, bro. Turns out she ghosted Cody. That was the last time they ever talked. Apparently Cody says she never replied to him. So the last time they talked is he was like, hey, should want to go on a date with me? We can go see a movie. She said yes. All right, cool. When? This time, tomorrow. All right, I'm excited to see you then.
She even confirmed that she was down.
Yeah, she said she was going. Cody had copped the tickets, I think.
Bro, she literally told him that like someone was gonna take her. Like she already had the ride like set up and everything.
Yeah, so she just stopped talking to him at that point. So, what does Cody do? The dude writes a diss track.
Huge, like just set of bars.
I have read the diss track.
He did it. I played a beat and he did the whole diss track in the car.
He's got it on his notes on his phone. Maybe we might
he
drop.
He could probably make it on the like any beat, honestly.
Yeah, you gotta find the beat, or he can probably just recreate it. But yeah, I've seen the lyrics. Cody was in his feels.
Bro, he wanted to go to Krish's because he was like, bro, I need Krish to make me a beat, and I'm just gonna record at his like studio.
In case y'all didn't know, Krish is a producer.
Speaking of beats, y'all can check me out on SoundCloud.
Wait, what was it?
On SoundCloud?
Link in the description.
Yeah, link in the description.
Oh, it's K-Plane Beats. You'll see a little Indian dude on the cover.
Yeah, that Krish.
Yeah.
Before you had drip.
The beats.
You have the same photo.
Oh my god.
I haven't changed it in like 4 years.
Bro.
It's just like me looking off at like the sun.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really see your face, so I mean.
Yeah. I think it's cool. I need to get like some graphic designer and just make some sick.
Back on
Yeah,
the
I do Photoshop. I'll help you.
back on the Mar.
Yeah,
like,
so that happened. Wait, what did you say was new?
So this is just one day, like me and Cody, and it's not like info, but basically me and Cody, I think we were at Smoothie King one day, and we were just talking because the topic came up again, and he was like, bro, like I still can't believe he was like, I would just love some closure at least, because this dude never got closure onto why she stopped ghosting him. And
and she started dating somebody. She's
at this
dating
point,
someone now.
yeah. So at this point, that day, at this point, she was already dating someone, and it was like just like some random ass dude that Cody would like. Cody would like kind of like roast this dude, and he'd be like, bro, like she could have been having like me and everything.
Wait, what did Cody say? What did he say?
What do you mean,
like he just said she could have been having me?
Oh, like
I feel like Cody was
that.
I mean, I can't exactly like remember, but so basically what we were just talking about it and everything, and he was like, bro, he was like, do you still have her number? And I was like, yeah, I think I actually still have her in my contacts.
Just calls her and starts roasting.
With
the bars.
What we did basically is Cody was like, bro, low key, you could try to find out and like at least get some closure from me.
Or have you asked her?
He basically, this is how we kind of set it up. I text Mar and I was like, hey, I was like I just like kind of started off the conversation, and then after like I just like asked like, oh, how are you and everything. I was like, yo, so like I was like, it's just a question because I'm kind of just curious, like how are you and Cody? And she was like, oh, like no, we ain't talking anymore. And I was like, oh shit, really? And Cody was right next to me, so this dude's like seeing everything, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, like why, what happened? Like I thought y'all were good. And she was like, yeah, I did too, but then the dude just never replied to me, or he just like stopped texting me all of a sudden. And I was like, and Cody at that point was like, bro, this bitch
Culture.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
There's levels to whole culture then.
Nah,
there's
bro,
like single people who want
There's
love.
single normal people. And
People who don't know what they want. Oh, people that are catches.
Bro,
So like
we got
Krish,
some thoughts up here,
Bro, you got-
no,
you got
at the
some-
bottom. The bottom.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. We got
Actually,
the
wait, it should be flipped because
either one, bro.
It
You
should
can
be
say
flipped.
the thoughts are at the bottom. They belong to the streets. Like let's get
Yeah.
real
They
here.
belong to the streets.
They belong to the streets. Let's get real here.
So the hoes.
We got the normal people like Elijah
who don't know what
just
they
chilling.
want.
yeah.
People who like.
We got the Vicks.
Oh my god. Let's start with that, bro. Please don't.
Where's that other girl, Victoria? I don't even know anything about her.
Who, Vic?
Or Vic. Oh, is that the same
That's-
person?
Okay, so.
It's like, which one?
Which one?
I mean, Vic was like, I mean, I really didn't know her that well, so I really can't say that I caught feelings. But I did want to get to know her better. Like, I thought she would be like a good person to like talk to or know. So, but that didn't end up working out all too well because, like I said, I didn't have any classes with her, and the only person that I could really talk to, I don't want to say talk to, but the only person that was like almost always in contact with her was Steven.
Like mutual acquaintances.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, oh, like it's whatever. I mean, and I just kind of let it go, and then that's about it.
That's how it be.
People should do.
See, that's how. Those are the normal people.
Don't even. I mean,
You're not normal.
No, I am, but I'm just saying, like, it's like I don't see why there's like a classification. For
I mean,
what do you think? There's no classifications.
yeah, I mean,
We're trying to construct like the hoe.
Yeah, you're. Like,
this has never been done before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
If we
create
could
a
make an
chart.
illustration, that would be great.
That'd be
need an
funny if we
animator
did.
to like just make like a.
Hey, yo, just go online like me.
graph or something.
We'll make a graph. We're
Yeah.
trying to make a graph.
well, yeah.
Hey, graph coming
just,
in
like,
the next episode.
No, we gotta get like all the squad's pictures, and you know those one charts that has like SA. Like,
Oh, like a tier list, like a tier
Dude, that would be
list.
great. I mean, our group is pretty like.
We're a pretty large group.
No, we
Yeah,
are,
it's
honestly.
just put like everybody.
Yeah.
If you think about it, like,
If we include
The
everybody,
S.
like,
the A, B. That's
no, but like, yeah, she basically.
So she capped.
She basically capped real hard, and she basically put it all on Cody that it was his fault that they
Damn.
stopped talking.
should have called her right then and be like, he's right here. He's like,
I forgot like what happened after that, but Cody was like, bro, this dude was so heated. He was like he was just like, bro, this bitch.
bro, at
he
that
was like,
point,
I'm about
just
to.
like,
I think he made like a part
Let it
2 of
go.
like the more after like.
oh,
but I don't know. I feel like if somebody does something like that to you, irregardless, like I'm not gonna care.
Well, it's just what's kind
Like
of
if somebody stands me up, I'm like, yeah, I'll be a little bit pissed off when it first happens, but I'm not gonna be like, bro, like I might like, because that is kind of where like you can develop a creative side of like music or whatever if you've been hurt or whatever. But
he's like Drake,
I guess.
except he don't got ghostwriters.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not gonna dwell on it, and I'm not gonna need closure for it. Like I'm just gonna be like, all right, like whatever, you know.
Just the thing that's just fucked up about this whole situation is like, Cody, this was his first like actual like thing.
His
for a
first
girl.
time catching feelings.
Like he was catching feelings, this girl was catching feelings. They looked like they were gonna be like,
Well, the girl obviously didn't catch it.
well,
Basically,
Feels
she
bad.
kind of let him on.
Yeah.
like she let him on.
I think there's a
really-
lot of girls leading guys on nowadays.
Or
that
maybe we're just confused.
maybe.
Like
yeah,
maybe
what are we
people,
doing wrong?
yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
what are we
people, like
doing?
maybe we're just confused as to what
We
they
should get a
want.
girl
and
on
what-
here next. That's
Get a
like,
girl.
Make some comments.
Oh gosh.
yeah.
No, but I mean, like, I feel like that could be a thing too. Like, maybe Cody thought that they had something going on, and then maybe
That is true.
Maybe she just thought they were friends.
exactly.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
I think
kind
that
of a good
happens a lot,
topic.
too.
Like, do you think guys and girls can still be just friends too?
I think so.
I think so.
No,
'Cause
yeah.
I've seen like guys do it,
Yeah.
and then
I think for the most part you can. I think it just if there's respect in the friendship.
Yeah.
yeah.
If there isn't, then
But yeah, I guess that's just the whole thing is like, it's all like kind of confused on both sides nowadays.
I think that's dumb that like girls would rather like lie to you and think that's easier to do, and it's harder to just tell you the truth. Like that's backwards.
See, that's the thing. It's like harder
Well,
to
it's
tell
not
the
everybody,
truth,
though.
Yeah,
but like most
general-
cases,
and it sucks.
it's like you should tell the truth, but a lot of people nowadays just don't want to tell the truth, and they
Yeah.
just kind of like make this big lie that could turn into something like worse than it usually like would have been if they just told the truth.
that's what I'm saying, dude.
I
I think everybody here has a different perspective on the hoe culture. Are we calling it hoe culture or
Yeah,
hoe culture?
sure.
What are we
I mean,
calling it? Are we
I
calling
think
it
Just
A
dating?
nicer way
dating-
would be single culture.
Nah,
Dating,
that's
modern dating.
But I mean, people.
Modern
Yeah.
dating.
Modern
That would be the
like
title,
dating
modern
in
Modern day
2020.
relationships or modern day dating.
And then like in quotation marks.
Hoe culture.
Oh my gosh.
Dating
Just
in
put,
Like,
like,
Because
bro.
like we have
Life
different
of Michael.
perspectives. Like I feel like
Oh my
Krish,
God.
See,
the life of Michael.
Well,
look,
The thing,
Oh,
well, the
biography of
thing that I,
Michael.
the thing
Yeah,
that
you're fully right
like kind of, the thing that kind of annoys me sometimes is like I know like obviously the past like year or so like I have kind of been like talking to more girls, but there was one point where I did have the relationship in squad. I had like a
Oh,
full
yeah.
3-year relationship.
Really?
Almost
you
4
guys dated
years.
for like 7 years, Michael. What are you-
Y'all thought I. I remember you and Cody would
Wait,
always be
which
like,
chick
bro,
again?
these dudes
What's
are
like
like
the
getting
longest
married.
you ever? Was that your longest relationship?
My longest, yeah, it was.
How
It was
long did
actually
you guys actually date? Because Cody always says 7 years. What's the
4
Dude,
years.
that.
Dude,
what the
we're
hell?
only
How
like
did-
everyone here is like 20, 21, 19, like 7 years, bro. What?
Bro, no, Cody, Cody.
Did you date middle school?
Well, okay. What I'm saying is
I don't
like,
count middle school as dating.
I would-
Yeah, okay, that's
Yeah,
actually
that's
kind of
true.
like the
Yeah.
I'm
first
not counting
stage.
that.
If you
Uh,
met middle school, no offense, but like that's kind of
first
But
of
it
all,
depends.
That's like a
if it
kid phase.
continues. But
Then
if
yeah.
they continue to date through like high school, wouldn't
yeah,
you
then
say?
it's like
Then yeah.
Yeah,
call
then
it.
you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Um,
But at least for me, anything in middle school.
middle
for me
school's
was
kind of like,
that's like a practice phase.
yeah.
but-
Kinda.
no, okay.
You know what I mean, bro?
First of
That's
all,
like
though,
end game.
first of all,
It's not just
though,
practicing
Or
her.
gunfight. You know what I'm talking?
Wait, say what you were saying?
first of all, though, Cody over exaggerates a lot of my shit I say. Like, I'm just gonna like disclose that real quick.
Okay.
But
I believe that.
nah, this relationship was about 4 years. This is like my longest. It
When
was
did you
4
start
years.
dating?
We started. We did start. I think like towards the end of 7th grade, and then the start of 8th grade. Went on until like, I think, junior or senior
Really?
of high school. Yeah.
Dude, I remember you being single for most of high school.
Hell no, bro.
Really?
No.
Yeah, he was in a
No.
relationship.
I was in a
Yeah.
relationship.
I thought you were too until
No,
you
because
told me.
there
No,
was there was a
that.
point I didn't even talk to squad because like
I don't remember.
Because I remember, I think I actually talked with Michael about that, and I was like, yo, like, because I remember him being in a relationship for most
Yeah.
of high school,
Mm.
even though I
It's
didn't
the
like
band
talk
chick,
with him
right?
that much, I still
Yeah.
remember like him being.
Why'd
But,
you
like-
not talk to like just because you focused on her? Like
Ghosting us.
she didn't want you.
yeah, for the most part, I was just kind of like
You.
it was kind of just like me and her, and like I do more stuff with her friends and her, and then I didn't start. It was like I think after we kind of ended things that I finally like started talking to squad again, but like it was hard. In a sense, it was harder for me to get back into the group with y'all because y'all were already like doing so much shit like with each other. That's why I feel like because I know there'd be times where like y'all would go to the movies and I'd be like, wait, like what about me? And I feel like low key like that was just because like I was never like for a good while I wasn't like a part of squad.
Yeah.
Well, also I remember early on we had a lot of like different friend groups also.
That's true.
Because
In
you
high
have to
school,
remember, this dude did a lot of stuff. He did football,
Yeah.
and then he also did ROTC,
Michael,
I
you
did,
were. You were.
bro. I did. I
and
literally.
then he
I
worked
will.
at Six Flags too.
Yeah.
Bro, my resume, I've literally joked about this. My resume is probably like fucking like 2 pages long just with like shit I did in high school and like because I was in
Showing off the
ROTC,
job.
I was in band, I was working
Yeah,
at Six Flags.
We were together for the Disney trip.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, we went to Disney for a band
For
trip.
sophomore year we were together and then we were stuck
Oh
with
yeah,
that.
bro, that shit, yo, that shit was actually lit. Like, bro, remember the
I should've
fucking
played,
lightsaber
like,
Bro,
fight?
flip or
who was that
something.
other kid? I hated him
Oh, it
so
was
much.
Joe.
Fuck
Wait.
Joe, bro.
All right,
What shot?
disclosure.
What shots?
The one with the
Fuck
blind,
Joe.
like Joe.
Joe
He was a
Porter.
Porter, yeah.
yeah.
With the ugly ass back tattoo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Damn.
More shots, bro.
Bro, he was a piece
All right,
of shit.
Joe, if you're listening to this, like,
Fuck you.
you heard it from Krish.
You heard
Um,
it from Krish.
His mom is super nice though.
But bro,
Okay.
honestly,
Yeah,
That's-
that's the only good thing.
I
because
see on the-
I do like now thinking about that was a lit trip. Like, and I remember rooming with Krish. We got there was one because that's when the whole Star Wars like area at Disney World was
They
being
just
like
finished it?
renovated.
Up,
They
yeah.
just finished
Didn't they
it.
finish
Same
it
with
when the
Harry
first
Potter.
movie came out?
Yeah,
And
They
Universal.
just finished it, and like they had like that area where you could like make your own lightsabers and shit.
Yeah.
Bro, I think it was you.
Did you pay for
I
it?
didn't go with that. I
You,
think
you didn't get that?
no.
Okay, well,
Did you
I
make
think
one,
Joe
Mike?
got. I didn't make one, but Joe made 2.
What the?
And-
Dude, that's like $200 each.
Bro, I know.
No, because don't you have an experience where they take you in their room? And
Yeah, they
Yeah.
like take you.
And
They
there's
show
like
you
a
how to
whole
like they
whole
make it.
thing.
But I remember, bro, there was one night Joe let us use the lightsabers. Me and Krish literally. I think there's a picture. One of us has it.
I don't know. where it
It's just
is,
us
but-
like standing there. Like I have a red lightsaber. Krish has a green one, and it just like looks like this dope photo of like just us standing on the beds, like
Just 2 sophomores, like
Yeah.
but-
So you and that one girl, you guys broke up in when, like junior year?
probably like the end of junior year, and then senior year is kind of where
So you were dating, you were in a relationship out of like
Out of middle school.
3/4 of high school.
Yeah.
freshman year, sophomore, and all of junior year. Was it all of junior year, the entirety of it?
I think it was
That's
up until
crazy, dude.
towards like the end.
Dude, that's crazy.
No, bro, like
Yeah, that's crazy.
No, that
But-
crazy.
well, and that's like the thing that
So
because
Michael's has had the longest relationship then.
I'm like 2.5, maybe 2 and 8 months.
but and that's like the thing because I mean I know obviously like that's like one of the things I get roasted on now is like, or I don't know if it's even a roast anymore. I think it's just like because I have like I have used Tinder and stuff, and I have
Get out
talked to
there,
like
bro.
I have talked to multiple girls and stuff. I think that's just like something that it just kind of like taken away is the fact that I was at one point in an actual like committed relationship. It's just I guess, bro, like just when you become single, especially after that long, it's just like fuck, like you could
Yeah.
you
I feel
can
like I feel like if I was in your position and I was dating through like middle school, like wherever you started, till like the end of high school. Once I'm out of it and once I'm over it, I feel like I would have been like, yo, I just want to be single for a while.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I would feel.
That's how
See,
that's how I feel.
well,
now.
and that's
Yeah.
kind of where two types of people come in, because like there's the type where you're like, oh yeah, I honestly like being single and everything, and like just like being like low key by myself, which I think there was a small portion of senior year where I was kind of like that, but then I just like I became the type of person that's like, oh, I could talk to like who I want to talk to now. And all this, and then I started like that's kind of like where I started talking to like a lot of people, but now I've kind of gone back into like the kind of single where you're like I just like being by myself.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's hard though, dude. Like when you break up from a long-term relationship,
It's
like all that time
well,
they spent like knowing them. You're just like I can't.
it's
picture
like
myself.
it's weird too, cause like I guess obviously how the guy and the girl take it sometimes is like different, cause like like all those posts where it's like, oh, how the girl takes it, and then like later on she's like, oh, I'm over it, but then the guy's like, oh, like I'm starting to like think about that girl again.
Yeah. Maybe either. It's more about the person, not like the gender. Each person.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think it's the person, and it's also who wanted the relationship to end and who didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause there was like it got to be like a point like kind of recently. I'll admit that I did start kind of like thinking about the person, and I was like, oh shit. And I think I told you one time I was like, oh, I actually like text the person too.
Are we name dropping?
No, I'm not gonna name drop.
Put that out.
Cause like
I'll always put that out.
Because like with us, she like we both kind of respect each other and everything now, and like we're chill with each other now. To like we're like I'm just gonna like respect her decision. She's gonna respect mine.
Who ended the relationship?
I did.
Why'd you end it?
There's like I don't really want to go into, but
Okay.
it's just like a lot of stuff, and also like I guess part of me was like. There was one point where I was like, is like really what I want? Like, do I just really like want to keep like it was kind of like one of those serious like thoughts that you have where you're like do I want to see more like what's out there for me and like kind of just like see what it's like just being by myself, or do I like want to like it was kind of like I guess like a fight between like my mind.
Well, yeah. I mean, not to like this is how I see things. But not to like roast people if you're in middle school or if you're whatever. What I feel like when you're in middle school, you think you're like older than you actually are.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
And so I think in middle school you might be like, oh wow, like this person, I like them and they like me too. We're gonna be together forever. And then when you actually are mature, like you probably when you were in junior year, you're like at that point you're actually like an adult, like a young adult. You're like, oh crap, like I've been with this chick since I was like
See, and
freaking
like
preteen, like, and I'm like, wow, like I don't know if I really, I'm not saying you didn't like ever care for her, but I'm just saying like maybe
No,
you
and,
were
like,
so young.
I will, because
making
I
such a
will
big
say on that,
decision.
because that
Yeah.
is one thing that I look back at now, especially with like this younger generation. A lot of them are like in that mature phase of like their middle school, or, like high school life, where they're like, oh, I know everything. I'm gonna act like an adult. Like I'm gonna feel like an adult, especially like when it comes to relationships now.
Mhm.
And I look at it like yes, that was kind of me in middle school where I still didn't obviously like know the concept of love. And then kind of into high school, but
Do you think you do now, Michael?
I mean, I'm still like, yes,
Still growing.
I
Still
I know the
growing,
concept of it. It's just like the people who have, at least recently, who I've tried to be with, like it usually never works out that way. Cause like I'll usually like catch feelings for someone and then we'll talk, but then it just like kind of goes south for me. But like I will admit, like with this girl, with like my relationship I was in, there was like in high school at least, like yeah, middle school was like middle school, but high school we did kind of like know, like we did have some knowledge and stuff on like what love was and everything, and like we did like actually become something to where we were talking about certain things, like we would have a lot of serious moments with each other, and we kind of like we weren't like the kind of high schoolers that were like, oh, like I'm all lovey-dovey, like we like would have serious talks with each other, like kind of like probably how you and Emily are, especially since you are both like adults now. It'd kind of be like we'd talk about like possible futures with each other and stuff, like
Damn,
it
you
gets
went
to-
all
like
the
ask
way.
that question, like where do you see this going?
yeah, exactly.
It's like dating, bro, and like let me explain first, is expensive in like the sense of time, because like you can never like get that back.
It's
Yeah.
honestly more simple in high school. Like you think
It
maybe in the
is,
moment you might
honestly.
think like, damn dude, like oh man, like she has this class, I have this one, I'm not gonna see her as much. But then you're like, as soon as you graduate, you realize like how
like simple.
How the real
how
world
simple
works.
it was.
Well,
And
cause
it's so much harder when you're
Do
not.
you think people are more
you know.
open to dating in high school, but it's also kind of like has its own? It's like a ticking time bomb. Like it's
like-
not gonna last forever.
that's like hard to judge.
Maybe
It depends.
Because I feel like when
there
people
are some people that stay together in high
yeah,
school.
and that's really
It's
rare.
really
I thought I
rare.
was gonna be one of those people.
Yeah.
I thought you were too.
Well, I thought that I thought that
Fuck! Dude, I remember thinking like, dude, at the beginning when I first started dating Emily, I was like, okay, I was like, Jaden's been dating his ex-girlfriend for like, they dated for like what, like a little bit over 2 years also, like two
Call him.
years. Huh?
Let's call him.
We gotta start taking calls on this.
Hey.
All I know-
Bro, that's the next
Alright,
upgrade.
all I
Oh
know
my gosh.
when I first started dating Emily, like all my friends were in relationships, like everybody
Yeah.
except for like Elijah and Michael and Krish, I think. But everyone else was. Oh, and Cody, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
a lot of people.
okay, most of
Yeah,
them were in
basically,
relationships.
Pretty, pretty chunk.
But they were
It's
in
for half.
long-term ones. Like Jaden had been dating this chick for a while. Nick had been dating his ex for a while, and they both of them were like Nick's almost hit 3 years. Jaden's went over 2. I remember seeing
Omar's
the
been
2-year
home.
post. Omar was dating at the
Oh, he would have
time.
been great to have on.
Oh.
We should do a part two.
I wanted Omar
Yeah,
to
we
be
should
on
do a
it,
part
but
two.
he doesn't get back from Mexico till 7 p.m. tonight.
Oh,
tonight?
Yeah, tonight.
I thought he
gets
came back on the 12th.
No, tonight.
Yeah, he told me 12.
7 p.m. he gets back.
Yeah.
A podcast
I guess he
like part
changed
2.
it. Well, I asked him
Gosh.
because like when you get back, he said today, and I was like, oh shit, like what time you can be on the cast? But he said 9, and I was like, or 7, and I was like, oh damn. But we'll have him on eventually. But
Yeah.
when I first started dating Emily, everybody was in relationships, and I was like damn. And then when I sat back and I looked at everyone else, like Jaden, his girl, you and your ex-girlfriend, I was like,
Oh, ranking.
I just thought I thought Jaden and her, I don't know, until the end, because near the end of theirs, I was like, oh god, I don't know if they're gonna, because they kept having issues. And Jaden
Dude,
was
when we
like,
first started,
I remember that.
He started dating her first. I gotta be careful. I almost.
I guess we're not. Yeah.
Doesn't
Can we
matter.
name drop like the first initial? So it's
Yeah, sure. Okay, when you
No,
started.
no.
No.
Okay,
No
fake
name
it.
drop. No name drop. We'll just use aliases or something. Just call all of them Michael.
That's a little
Michael
weird.
dated
Let's
Michael.
just do the
Before
first
Jaden
initial.
started dating Michael.
The first initial ain't gonna
Yeah,
tell.
what does it matter?
No one's gonna know. There's so many.
I mean,
There's hundreds of
yeah, that's
thousands of
y'all.
names.
Okay, so when he started getting feelings for T, I was hanging out with him.
It's so much easier to say like her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, bro. That's
Because
what
then
I'm
her
saying.
could be. Never
It could be
mind.
anyone.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So when he started like getting feelings for her, we were like hanging out at his house one day, and then even Omar, when he was like getting feelings for E, they were all talking like, "Oh my god, dude, like this is so great." And me, I was getting feelings from my ex, and I was like, "Oh, dude, like I'm kind of unsure," just because I had like mixed feelings, and not because like I didn't know that I liked her, but I didn't know if she would like me back, because she was a really like
That's how mine
she was a
was.
very reserved person. and they were like, dude, like if you're unsure, like you shouldn't even like try. And I was like, dang, dude, like. I mean, they were like,
Wait, that's garbage advice. I'm sorry. That is garbage
Wait,
advice.
hold
That's
on.
bad. That's pretty bad advice.
So,
looking back, I was like,
Their
damn,
advice
bro.
was if you're
That's
unsure,
Just
fuck
don't
it.
even-
Don't even.
Don't even try. Bro, that's
Oh my god!
Wait,
Dude, it's a wonder you even dated her, dude. Holy
wait.
shit!
Who'd you get this advice from?
Jaden.
Bro, don't
No.
don't ever
June
listen.
Jaden.
Bro, Junior Jane, okay.
What's even worse?
Wait, real quick.
Oh my god.
I didn't follow it, obviously.
Dude,
I was just like,
Yeah.
Bro,
I mean,
that's
at
such-
some point, you have to like take people's advice with a grain of salt.
Hey, yo, sit down, bro.
yeah.
Sit.
Well, like,
He's gonna sit on Elijah's shoe.
There you go.
No, dude, but like, it's just funny looking back that like I was the one that was unsure, and not that it's a competition, but I ended up outlasting the relationships just from like the bonds we built. Okay, that sounded really.
Hey, I'm coming.
You know what
up,
I mean,
I'm
right?
coming up next, bro. I'm out last.
That's just like I was very uncertain at first, and then like it just ended because of something that was kind of out of my control.
If
Yo,
we're
I
going,
just saw
if we're
something
going
random.
based on competitions, hold on. How
if
long?
we're
was-
going based on competition,
How long
what
was
the fuck?
yours?
How long
It
was
ended
Wait,
yours?
I don't have it saved when we broke up.
Wait, you ended in when? July,
we dated.
August.
We started in April of 2017.
Okay,
So that, and then
so 18,
April 2019. So 2 years. Then May, June, July. We didn't know we were, and then we broke up that month.
19. So 2 years and 3 months. 2 years, 3.5, 3, 4, somewhere in there.
Damn.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
So mine, I'm about to pass up Nick, bro. If this is a competition, I'm about to get in first. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, bro, but can you even pass me up if I'm not even in the race anymore?
That is true.
Well,
He's
I'm like
basically
that.
DQ'd.
I'm like, you ever see cars that one dude that just wiped out?
And he pushed
Oh.
you to the finish.
Yeah.
I'll grab you and push you to the finish.
Yeah, Josh
No,
is like
thank
lightly.
No,
lightning.
I'm good.
I started dating in 2017 also, but it was like later in the year. So you had a January, let me see, April, May, June, July, August, September.
Isn't it on
October.
your wrist? Is that what that bracelet is? 10, 20?
Oh yeah. So
You're just like, oh shit.
He just counted.
Wait, I could do that. I could look at my calendar real quick.
bro, I can count. I can
Well, I'm
count
just
May,
saying-
June, July, August, September, October, 6 months. You had a 6 month on me.
Oh,
you
a
guys-
start. I thought
You
were
guys
counting
were
your whole
dating for
relationship.
6 months before. Oh no, I know how long it is. Ours is 2 years and
Let him count.
3 months.
Damn.
2 years and 3
You
months.
probably already passed me.
It's at this is around the time you guys broke up. It was 2 years and 3 months, so it's a you better be careful. I don't want to jinx them.
Oh.
No, because
yeah,
I was like,
dude,
this is
shut
the
up.
time you
Oh,
guys
yeah,
broke up,
yeah.
and I was
Stop
like,
talking.
Why y'all knocking on wood?
Why you wanna
It's
jinx
like,
it?
I'm next, bro.
I don't want to.
Don't
No,
jinx
but
it.
dude, no, back to my original point. When Jaden and T were first together before the end, because at the end, I was like, dude, these guys they're both so fucking stubborn and petty.
They are.
Both
That
of
is
them.
so true.
Both of them. No,
And that was just from an outside perspective. I was like,
I
dude,
don't,
if
I
I
don't
was
even
in
know
there,
their private arguments. I just know what I've heard from like seeing them. And dude, they're both so petty and stubborn. Like Jaden would, for example, like there would be a time where she would be annoyed at Jaden because Jaden was busy doing something. And then she'd be like, "Oh, you didn't give me like attention." And then instead of him just being like, "Oh, like sorry, like I was doing this," he would just be like, "Bro, calm your ass down," or like something like that. And then that would just initiate more shit. And then she'd be like, "Nah, like," and they clearly were like at the end, like they just weren't communicating. It was like, bro, oh my god, if first off she's gonna freak out over Jaden being busy for a little bit, bro, you gotta, chill out. Like, cause that is true. I think you gotta have trust in it and just be like, bro, we're like, you know what I mean? But like. They just both, all of their shit would be over like such little things. Like what caused, I don't want to speak on Jaden's shit, but what caused them to break up was like something like it could have just been solved by one of them just saying oh yeah, I'm like, my bad, I was in the wrong. Because I think both of them were in the wrong. What happened? They were both just being way too stubborn to admit it. And Jaden's extremely stubborn. Like, I think you know, Nick. Like, all of us should know. Jaden can be extremely
He
stubborn.
can be
with
super
things.
stubborn.
And and the fact that she was matching the stubbornness was like, Fuck.
That's like the key,
Oh.
bro. Is communication.
Yeah, that's all it is.
That
They
It
is.
really is.
They didn't
No,
have
really.
it.
And at
Right, I
first-
remember. But I was thinking at the beginning. I was like, bro, Jade and her, they might, maybe. I know. I thought for sure.
Yeah,
you
at the
and
very
Liz-
beginning, like the way he was getting so hyped and like
Yeah,
and then I just I mean I don't want to speak for him, but like it just seemed like it wasn't the same at a certain point.
dude, yeah. At the end of it, I started seeing like, bro.
Because if he liked you the same way as from the beginning, then you would have done like anything to fix it.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't want to keep talking on him because if he's not here,
Yeah,
talking about
yeah.
his
Yeah.
private
You were
shit.
talking about Cody, wasn't it? But that was for the.
That
Why
was
did
for-
you even start talking about it?
I don't remember, dude.
Because you were talking about
We were
the
talking.
bar.
Oh,
we
no,
were
it's
talking about
'cause-
standing people
it's
up.
'cause,
ghosting and shit
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, my main point of this was I thought like maybe a year and a half for theirs, and then yours at like maybe a year. Actually, are you sure you guys started dating in 2017?
Yeah, it was like I
Damn.
asked her on a date in March, and then we went to the movies and then a week or two after that, I finally asked.
I thought you guys started dating when you went to Florida for the competition for ROTC.
No. Okay, that's when I was single and I was like actually really like happy with myself and all that. And then all these girls just started liking me and I was like, bro, like I kind of don't really care. I was like, just leave me alone.
Oh.
But then like she was the last person I respected that I caught feelings for. I was like, dude, she's really cute that she does not like me. And then like she ended up liking me and I was like,
Yeah,
oh shit.
that's like the same thing with me, dude. Emily and my relationship, dude, we kept like that shit like private for like almost a year. Like
That was the first time I hung out with my ex. It was Emily's birthday
Mhm.
on October. And
Yeah.
like she went to like Six Flags, the Fright Fest.
Oh, I remember.
And like
that.
she picked me up, and then my other friend Vicente, like we just went and like hung out with her.
I don't know if I went to that one or not. I remember. I think I was invited, but
Yeah, it was just the four of us.
there was one. I remember Emily invited me. I remember I was like, "Who's there?" And she's like, "Oh, like Monique, Vicente, and like I was like, and Nick." And then I remember I was thinking like, "Okay, I know Nick," and I was like, "Oh, dude," I was so like I had so much social like anxiety and like shyness and shit
Yeah.
that I was like, "Dude, I don't want to like."
I only went because I knew Vicente.
Yeah,
I
I knew
didn't
you.
even really know Monique.
I
I
knew
mean,
you a little
Emily.
bit. And I was like, oh god, like I don't know if I want to go, and I didn't go. I regretted not going now.
Yeah, you
But yeah,
It was bad though, because when I first like talked to her, we were just like going through the park and stuff, and I forgot what I said. But I like said something like mean ass insult, and I was like, it's a joke, and I was actually like sweating inside, like, fuck. Why did I say that?
Dude, like that's
Oh, man.
literally
It was-
from around.
You just say something.
Emily and I started dating in October of 2017,
Oh.
and that must have been 16, because I first met Emily and met like in like August of 2016.
Yeah.
And we started like I was so unsure for like that almost that entire year. I was like the same thing.
Wait,
You're like,
Josh.
oh, like
Didn't Cody Loki have feelings for her prior?
Oh my god, you stole his. Actually, no.
No.
She didn't like him back.
Yeah,
she didn't
no,
like
he-
Cody.
he
Well,
just-
You.
I'm
Bro,
not trying
this
to
is
put
so
Cody-
saucy.
I don't want to put Cody on blast.
No,
on
no,
it.
no, 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 no,
All
no.
I,
Bro,
all I know
no,
is you
no.
like after she didn't like him, you started talking to her in secret, and y'all were dating for like a week or so. And
Yeah.
you were gonna tell him, and I forgot how he found out.
I had to tell him. Okay,
Oh,
okay.
you told him?
Okay. For the, I'll tell him.
Well, it wasn't his response like, "Oh, I'm already."
Okay, well, what happened was-
My bad, I just
Why,
remembered.
dude? You're doing so many shots being fired.
I have
Oh,
to tell the
podcast,
story
bro.
now because I don't want it. Okay, I'll tell a brief story.
Next time when Cody's on.
Yeah, we got. Like,
I don't want to expose Cody because I mean, it wasn't. It was just a mean joke. In all honesty, we shouldn't have done it, and it went on for too long. Pretty much, Cody had a thing for my girlfriend. I don't know if he was serious. I think it was just like, oh, she's
Yeah.
cute. That's it.
she wasn't your girlfriend, just to be clear.
At the time, she was.
Oh wait, she was.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
really?
Oh,
Oh,
wait,
I didn't know
no,
that.
he
We
talked to her
kept it-
first.
We
That
kept
was on
it
the low
secret
key.
for
He
a
was
long
talking to
time.
her before y'all started dating, and then as she was your girlfriend, you still had a thing.
Well, like,
No, okay. What happened was, Emily and I were talking for like a long ass time, and we had come to the decision. Finally, when I confirmed that she had feelings for me, because I was like how you were saying, where it's like I didn't know if she did. I was like not unsure for a long time. That was the same thing I was in, and in like August of 2017, excuse me, which is like what 2 months before October.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
September.
Yeah, so it was like 2 months before we started officially dating that we both like had a talk, and it was probably pretty much like what are we talk, like that thing.
Mhm.
And that's when we both were like, she was like, no, yeah, like I've honestly like had feelings for you for a while. Like I wasn't sure if you did nothing, but that's how I was feeling. And it was like that type of thing.
Yeah.
That type of thing. So it was like, okay, like are we dating now or what? And I was like, oh, like let me like I don't want to just like it be that simple. Like I want to actually like ask you out like to be my girlfriend or whatever, like on a date or something. I didn't want to just to be over text like, oh yeah, we good. You know, I didn't want to be just like that. So I said, okay, like I was like, I mean, like we're talking right now, like we can like we're not officially dating, but you know, we're together, that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we kept it secret because I didn't go around telling everybody. I think only like maybe Jaden knew. I think I didn't tell like everybody. It was like a kind of like a thing. I was waiting to come out with it whenever it was actually official. But around that time, I was hanging out with her more, but we also, since I wanted to hang out with her, I also wanted to hang out with my friends, so we did more group things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we would hang out with Cody and like maybe Val or Katya, and then Cody was just like, ooh, like like this chick's like cute, I kind of like her, but I was already like, we were already kind of a thing. And I didn't know how to tell Cody because I hadn't told people. I was keeping it low key. And at that point,
told him then.
I should have told him
so
then.
invested.
I should have told him then,
Damn,
but I didn't. So what ended up happening was Emily texted me and she's like, hey, like I don't know if it's like I'm reading it wrong. She said, but I think Cody like might like me. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, oh, I don't know. Like he's kind of like texting me like, would he ask you on a date or like what? And at first it was no. He was just like, I was like, I don't know. I think Cody might just be a friend. You know, I didn't have any. You know, I wasn't like, what the fuck's he doing? You know, nothing like that. It wasn't until he was like, I think he tried asking her out on a date or something. And then that's when I was like, oh shit, like, okay, you were right. And I was like, okay, I should have said, let's just tell him like now, like, because it's not official yet, but let's just tell him. And she was texting me all this. But it was my idea. I wanted to prank Cody. And this is closer. This is closer to the time where we started dating, which was in October. This is around that time.
Damn, bro, y'all dated. I didn't even know.
Yeah, I told you were the first person I told when it was like official.
Oh wait, that's right.
Remember?
Yeah,
I came over to your house and I was like, yeah, like this is what's going on. We've been talking for a while. I haven't told anybody. Remember?
Yeah, and I was getting all hyped because
So you were like, what? You're like, dude, I don't know. But like, yeah.
Back
So
to the Cody shit.
on this time, pretty much Emily and I pranked Cody. We were like, oh, dude, it'd be funny if like we lead Cody on. It's fucked up.
So
dude. Looking back on
look what you did to him.
Yeah.
This guy, dude. We were talking yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Let me just
it was
finish the
really
story.
bad.
We could
quick.
do I'd love to do a part 2.
We can.
Yeah, we
More
can.
people.
We'll have Omar too.
We'll bring on Omar, bring on Cody, but
Like,
it's pretty much.
No, we're talking shit last time.
No, this is pretty much what happened. Long story short, we pranked Cody by. Because oh god, I just remembered something funny. Okay, at the time is when Jake Paul had his big thing where he came to San Antonio.
Dude, Arturo texted me about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's like, bro,
Remember?
is that Walmart?
So he came to Walmart to try to get things for like the hurricane in Houston.
Wasn't it like a disaster?
It was some really
Yeah.
bad
It
thing.
was
a
So
disaster
yeah, he
relief.
didn't call Walmart and plan anything. He just showed up. And at this time, the dude was huge. Like he's kind of fallen off now, but he was huge at the time. I mean, he's still big, but like
Yeah.
he was huge at the time. Like tons
What was
of
that, like
millions.
2016?
2017. He showed up, and Arturo was like, okay, he's at this Walmart. And Arturo was smart. He took a camera out, good camera, and he recorded what happened, and all of his footage made it on Drama Alert.
Yeah.
So Arturo's
And
footage is on
Keemstar,
Drama Alert, and Cody recorded it. He went out there with him, and so they made it on Drama Alert. So they got hype, and I remember them calling me. And this is around the time where Emily and I were like, "Oh, should we prank Cody or not? Like, should I just tell him?" And we weren't sure. This is what made it happen. Cody was hype that he got on Drama Alert. So was Arturo, and I told Emily like, "Yo, like let's prank Cody," because I called Emily and told her, excuse me, even though I wasn't part of the group that went to the thing, I was hyped to like my friends like get their shit got on Drama Alert. I was hyped for them.
Yeah.
So I told Emily, I called her. I said, bro, like my friends, like these people, like their shit's on Drama Alert, and she didn't know what Drama Alert was. I had to tell her. So,
Yeah.
so I was like explaining that Drama Alert's this is what happened. Like, it's pretty chill. I sent her the link, and she's like, oh, what the hell? That's cool. And I was like, yeah. So I told her, and then I came up with the idea. I was like, yo, because Cody was being stupid. He was like doing his thing where he's like, oh, like I'm on Drama Alert, like I'm famous. He's like, I'm about to be getting like any girl I want. And like stuff like that. That's how he was like acting how Cody was like joking around and stuff like that. So I told Emily, like, yo, like up until now, you've been like respectfully declining Cody like to date or like to go on a date with him. text Cody and be like, "Yo, I saw you were on Job Alert. Like, we should go out sometime," or like, and then be like on Cody to get Cody up, and then we'll go out and be like, "Oh nah, Cody," because I was kind of like, "Bro, Cody, like it was just Job Alert, bro. Like no one's gonna be on you, bro."
That's
Like,
fucking mean, bro.
I know. So that's what we
So fucked
that's
up.
what we did. Dude, Elijah did something fucked up to me too, bro. Come on. This is me getting like back from
Anyways,
my painful elementary.
Not gonna lie, I did something similar to what Elijah did to you to a friend in middle school.
Oh my
Bro.
god.
okay,
But
let's
it's
say it.
dumb, bro.
Okay, pretty much what I mean. Finish it real quick. You can tell you after.
I don't need to tell it. I just
Okay.
to let you know.
All right.
So
you
I'm,
can tell us
I'm
off camera.
speaking like. I shouldn't be speaking.
Yeah. It went too far. I'll say that. If we would have like if that same day where Emily did that and then Cody just saying, "Oh, you found out about it," like word and like all that. If we would have been like, "No, I'm just joking," like Josh and I are like pranking you right away, and then it would have been cool. But we let it on for way too long. And then like it was like at the point where like Emily and I were like actually officially dating, and I wanted to like let everyone know. And instead of letting everybody know, like I was like, dude, we gotta like call off this joke with Cody because Cody like thinks. Because Emily then kept being like, no, like Cody, like I just want to be friends. Like this was a joke. And then Cody was just like, oh, did I say something wrong? Because he thought it was her then trying to like step back, you know. So I was like, dude, it went way too far, and I was like, oh my god. So I remember I picked up Cody from work, and then I pretty much just told Cody like, yo, bro, like this shit was all a joke, dude. Like I'm dating Emily right now. Like I don't want it to be weird between us. Like you like be like, oh, you got a thing for my girl. Like I don't want to be like that. I know like it's nothing serious because like Emily's not. She's rejected you from the start. Like I don't want it to be weird. Stuff like that, you know. And I kind of had that talk with him, and he was just like, bro, he's like, I don't care at all. And honestly, I just care like, why didn't you guys fucking call it off like 3 weeks ago? And I was like, yeah, I know, bro. And I was like, you went way too long. But that was the whole thing.
Damn, that's
Oh.
Thanks for bringing that up, Krish.
Yo, so
You brought it up out of nowhere.
hey, wait, is it okay if I bring up a topic? It's kind of like relating to like the whole dating culture now.
What is it?
Well, that's what we were supposed to be talking about.
Well,
I mean, we've told some
So-
pretty funny stories.
no, yeah, we
The only
have.
problem
And I
is
mean,
we haven't
it's
talked about people that
well,
aren't.
and
We
it's
get like the whole squad.
They're gonna
We
be
gotta
on for
relive
part
our
2.
memories.
And
We'll probably make it
Part 3.
well, I mean, it's kind of like related to like that whole topic.
Yeah.
But so it's on kind of like with Josh how he kind of like explained about like middle school and high school relationships, and then you kind of talked about it too. It kind of is more simple in high school because like the thing is, first of all, everybody in like your high school, like like
Dude,
and
high
you
school's
could just,
like its own little world.
well, and you could like, bro, you see those people like each day. Like it's
Yeah.
not like you have to like text them to go see them. It's like you see them, even though like when you actually like someone, you won't tell them until like after fucking high school or something. But I feel like it's kind of like that where in high school it's like it's more easier. Well,
I just thought about one. I just looked at Krish and he was just like, you like to smile.
but like,
Krish probably exposed someone else.
No, it was about me.
That one
but
Remember when Nick
what
took
I'm
that
basically saying is like with high school, it's like your crush, like say like you have a crush in high school, you could, if you want to, like you could either go tell them like right there because like they're in your like high school with you, or you could like nod and like just like wait. Whereas like now we're fucking adults, like we have to like, I mean, I'm not saying like everybody, but like it's more towards like people use these dating apps because like they can't like go off and like just tell like the people that they already know and say like they like.
Yeah. I mean, you can go to bars and stuff like that.
I mean, yeah, but
from what I've seen,
That's what Elijah be doing.
it'd be hard.
but what I'm just saying is,
Bro, the club, the one time I went to the
Hey.
club, bro. Dude, that was fun, yo.
Wait, hold on. Didn't Omar get grinded on by a dude?
oh yeah,
What the heck?
Bro,
Yo,
there's so
I'm not
much
sure.
more, dude.
I'm not sure, man.
oh
I'm not sure.
No,
No, because I don't want to say anything. But
we
like,
gotta have the full squad on here if we're gonna roast like.
bro,
Yeah,
honestly, a
bad.
squad cast should be like
a squad
Like
cast.
It's just
a
gonna be
monthly
stories
thing.
and jokes and shit.
dude, that's fun.
Well,
dude.
bro, like I've been
We can
talking,
do it,
I've been
bro.
talking to Josh. I want to make a squad cast, like just all of us, like
Well, I mean,
together.
we could just continue off of this one. Just have.
I mean, if you
It's-
want, I
we
mean,
can
this.
jump
I
on
know
that.
Josh strictly wants to do this. I mean, movies and stuff. But
well, I
We
just
can
feel,
have
I
like a
just,
separate
a lot of
segment.
well, I feel
yeah, I
like
kind of want to be an anything thing.
Yeah.
I
I
feel
feel
like
like a separate segment versus like squad cast. Like this is like I don't know what you would want to like title this because obviously the podcast name is Cosmic Kickback, but
We kicking back.
We kicking back right now.
It's just
I
'cause, like,
agree.
the
But I mean,
cosmic
like
weed
we should
space.
like title the episodes differently or something. Like,
Well, it's like-
y'all have y'all stuff, and then if we have a squad cast, we can like
Oh.
Wait,
Featuring
wait.
squad. Something
yeah,
like that.
or like maybe just change the titles like slightly.
Yeah,
to
just
where
change
it's
the
like,
title to like a Squadcast kind
yeah,
of like.
Squadcast 1 or whatever. And then
I see what you do.
their
Just
own
like
different
episodes that they
series.
talk about.
Well, it's just because like
films
with
and
the
stuff like
Cosmic
that.
Kickback, I feel like that's just like
Different series
yours
in
and
the same
Josh's
channel.
kind of thing, and like we're just like special guests. Whereas like a Squadcast would be like all of us.
But you
and
can
then,
still host it under this.
Not
like,
all
I
of us
mean,
can.
yeah, you can.
It depends because
Y'all,
y'all
like, Josh and I
like,
started it, but
yeah,
like, y'all are still our group, and I think
Yeah.
it would work if just we hosted it and like kind of crowd control, because y'all could.
Yeah.
I mean, not y'all,
Yeah.
but when everyone's
When
together,
everyone's together, you don't know.
dude,
what's
there's so
going
much
on.
like.
dude,
Yeah.
already there've been too many shots thrown out. Like,
Did Krish been throwing
No,
stuff?
yeah,
Bro,
I think this is the
Bro,
most
I
like
said
chill
one.
members of squad. These are people that like.
yeah, that's what I'm
This is everyone
saying.
that's chilling. Like,
Yeah,
the
and we have
people-
other
the
members who
people
like
that
to
we-
instigate.
No, yeah,
Jaden.
like
Don't
More
name
shots.
names.
More shots, bro.
Pretty much anyone that isn't here.
No.
basically everybody
Josh
who's
instigates so much. I
What?
swear.
Bro,
When he's
what
around
do
the,
you
when he's around the
mean?
right people.
When
If
he's around the
Jaden
right
or
people,
Cody, he
yeah.
won't,
No,
like,
I
instigate
will
to
only
get laughs.
instigate when it's already beef is or not beef, but like
Some joke
little
is already-
argument joking has started
Josh,
between.
What
two
I
I
mean,
people.
swear
like,
to God,
all
almost
them-
every time you're like, Krish, are you gonna take that and just slap me?
No,
You're like, don't
Stop.
Because he's sitting in his mind.
No.
It'll be like Jade and Nick are talking, and Jade will be like, "Bro, why the hell did you ghost me yesterday? Like, I was trying to hang out." And Nick's just like, "Oh my bad, bro. I was chilling."
well, like,
and then let's be like, "Oh damn, Jade,
Bro.
he said he ghosted your ass." Like, I'll do that.
most
Like,
of, most
I'm,
of
not,
the
I'm not just gonna go up and everyone's chilling. I'm like, "Yo, Elijah, Cody was talking."
Most of the time, too, with
I don't
Josh,
do that.
it's like because even Josh has told me like this, like for example, like because full disclosure, I'm like the one in squad that like gets roasted the most.
Oh, yeah.
What do you have?
What I wait, what?
You're holding something, right?
Wait, what?
Oh my gosh! Don't even
Oh my
start,
God, don't even start with
Please.
that, bro.
Oh
No, but
No, they gotta know now. It's gonna make it seem like I'm making a joke.
I don't know.
It's the L torch.
I mean it's not a.
Oh,
it's just a
my God.
That's
roast
what I was
torch.
talking
Dude,
about.
we need to do that squad awards thing.
Yes, dude.
Oh my
Oh my,
God.
wait, what?
Oh my God! Wait, you don't even know about it.
We haven't.
No.
Okay, Jaden, Nick, and I think Nick had the idea, and
Let's
we all
just
just
let's like
fleshed
explain
out.
it in the podcast you do. Pretty much the gist is we're gonna do an award show with everyone in our group, and it's gonna be like good stuff, like nice dresser, like
Yeah,
nice
okay.
hair.
we have
and all that.
awards that we.
That'd be
write out.
chill.
We're
Nice
gonna get
size.
those like cheap ass trophies.
Oh, you're gonna get the two
I'm gonna
best.
get actual trophies.
You
Let's
gotta
give,
just
like,
get one.
Yo, you gotta get
Dude,
those.
They're like 99 cents.
Bro, you gotta get those.
and then the
all-
worst
they're getting
award
cheaper.
is like the biggest L of the year.
The L of the year.
Okay,
Just like
honestly,
give like
but
just
we
make
gotta-
a trophy that's
we-
an L.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I'm
Go
not
to some
gonna
like
sit down.
trophy place. Like I just need to
real
go with
quick.
an L.
I'm not gonna name drop, but I am gonna kind of like shoot a shot at someone.
He looks like.
I'm basically just saying because like I don't necessarily have the L torch. I just have a fucking roast torch. The one who has the L torch is the one who has the L day.
The L day.
Oh my gosh!
bro,
That's what I'm
what?
saying.
What?
I'm just saying. Like I haven't had an L day.
Okay.
Debatable again. I'm playing.
Like don't get
Bro, we
don't.
should do a squad court thing where it's two different like defendant
Oh,
and
jeez.
what's the other one? Prosecutor.
Oh,
Oh
defensive
my
justice.
It'll be like
it
a-
has to be something like that someone did though. Like it has to be like a good case though.
I feel like
Like
Elijah
the
would be
Dave
best
and
judge.
Buster shit.
Allows me to judge.
Hey.
Oh my
Dude,
gosh.
that's not even
It's gotta be something we're all
debatable.
around here
It's
for.
not even debatable.
Wait, what was
Hey,
the
but
Dave
it is
Buster
a good
thing?
case though. You
Yo,
can take
no,
that,
that
to,
would
like,
be a
small claims
funny
civil
case.
court.
It is
Actually-
debatable.
Yo,
Dude,
what
bro,
was
it?
take
Take
Cody
that
to
to
court,
his
bro.
Hey, yo, if in 10 years from now Cody still ain't pay me back,
Basically,
court
just
might
kill
have
him.
to pull-
Disclosure to everyone:
Take
the
them
Dave and
out.
Buster shit is.
I'm gonna explain the Dave and Buster story he's talking
Oh my
about.
God.
Well, it's quick. I'm just gonna. I'm
Basically,
not gonna.
It's a long story.
all right. Cody lost the card, it had money on it, and it belonged to Josh.
Now
Yeah.
Cody owes him like money.
What
You-
was on the card?
There were all the money on the card. It's pretty
There's
much all I'm
money
asking
and
for.
tickets on the
It
card.
changes
and
every
that was
time.
it.
It doesn't change every time. That's an
I heard
exaggeration.
300 to 700.
No.
I'm hearing
Who the hell
thousands.
said
Oh.
700?
I'm hearing a G.
Oh,
The
Yeah.
highest it's ever been is 500.
Oh.
It started off at like 300, 350 around there because that's how much money was still on the card, like actual money that credits that hadn't been used to swipe. And then I included other shit because Cody took like 5 years to pay it back. He hasn't paid shit back.
Oh, you just stacked
It's
that
not
up.
interest. It's not
You
interest.
just
It's just
It's
that
like
I was
food
like,
and
dude, you're
rides
taking
and shit.
so long. I'm gonna now include like the fucking 20,000 tickets that were on it from previous playing the card, spending money.
no, but like.
So Cody made it increase himself.
Do you still
One-
have all the tabs on everybody?
Yeah, I was about to get into
we
that.
talked about this the other day. He said he got rid of the high school
Dude,
ones.
I got rid of
Yeah.
my tabs like freshman
Bro,
year.
I was about to get into that because I was gonna say like Josh is probably the only one in squad. You got me to do it too because
You
I
did
did
it?
that. I did that shit on Jaden when Jaden owed me lunch. for the
Oh,
boys.
You see that there?
Honestly, dude, the way I do it is like if I pay for someone and they take for like one time I paid for Omar's concert tickets and he took forever to like pay me back. So from then on, I just don't pay for stuff.
Well,
The
like
Logic concert.
Yeah.
with what
That
Josh.
was when we found like $100 on the ground that one time. You remember that?
It was
And we
200.
Yeah, 200 and we split it.
Yeah.
And he's like, bro, you got the
Well,
money back. I was like,
Basically, what Josh does.
Really?
Basically, what
I
Josh
spent, like-
does is
Oh, he
chill.
tried to saying, "Oh, you got it. I'm gonna pay you."
Even
what
though-
logic is
That
that?
makes no sense. That's me, big bro. I finally got paid. Like I got paid by my job. And say, "Oh, you don't need it no more."
Exactly. Doesn't matter what.
But basically, what Josh does is, or what he used to do.
What is this? We were supposed to talk about roast culture. We're just like
Roast
Roast
that in itself is a whole
Alright,
other
let's
episode,
go.
bro.
That's a
Close
whole
it
nother-
out, 'cause
This
it's
has
almost
changed.
5,
This has changed up, bro. We're getting off the hinges. We were supposed to talk.
This is what happens, bro.
We were supposed to talk about hoe culture / like current dating,
Imagine
like,
with the full
relationship type stuff.
This is what happens.
And Mike was like, "Bro, this is what fucking
Imagine
Josh
with-
does."
Well, no, I was
Imagine
just gonna
four
talk.
other
I was
people,
just gonna
bro.
talk about like how you write down like the tabs on.
I
Like,
haven't done that in okay.
it's what you used to do.
People used to take advantage of my kindness. I would pay for everything. I was given rides everywhere. No, dude, Cody.
Shots,
Bro, you
Dude.
were like the bus for squad.
I know I
were.
was, and I
For a
didn't. I
while.
didn't mind when we were just doing cool shit that we were all doing. But when it turned into like, yo, bro, like, can you take me here? Like, drop me off, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and all this, it's like, dude,
Dude, yeah.
I got gas, bro.
I hate when I got my car and I just turned into a fucking Uber. It's like,
Not
bro.
bad.
Yeah.
No, there were some people I like taking home, but someone
Yeah.
like every day I was just like,
No, I know when we would hang out at Elijah's house late, and it would be like, Krish gotta go home. Like everyone knows, everyone in the house, everyone in the house is
I feel
aware.
so bad.
They're all aware that
Get your
Krish
license, Chris.
lives
they're
the
all trying to
farthest.
leave.
Everyone
I don't live
else,
that far.
everyone. Okay, out of everyone else,
Alright.
he's the farthest drive.
Okay.
Everyone else is like on the way, just down the street, something like that. Krish is like down the street, like take a left, take a right, curve, like go. It's like the most
I remember
complex.
this shit.
But everyone is aware of it, and we'll be hanging out. Elijah falls asleep, and then everyone's just like, I'm gonna go. Like Jaden, all the people with the licenses get up and leave, and then Krish just like wakes up Elijah and I'm like, hey bro, can you take me home? I say, where the hell's
It's like
everyone
the
else?
this dude with the bill. Y'all
Do
just
you-
leave, y'all leave a table.
Do you remember that one
I'm
night?
gonna go
I think
Dude, everyone
I think
dips, though.
you left. You left first because you just had it like you
feel
just
so
wanted to go home. But
No, he
then
feels bad.
then it got to the point
It's
where
not like you wanted.
Krish started asking, and he's like, oh, like who can take me home tonight? And like I think Jaden at first
Jaden
said
just
he
is like,
could.
oh, and then he just leaves.
Jaden at first said he could, but then all of a sudden, like at the end of the
Yeah.
night, Jaden was like, "Oh, I gotta go, bro. Like me and Omar both gotta go."
Yeah,
And
it's
then
like, you take
he
me home, it's
dipped
like, nah,
real
he just like
quick.
dips.
And then it just got to the point where I think it was just me and Cody, and Elijah was passed
Oh,
out.
this was the most recent.
Oh, this
Cody
is
was
the
like-
one
This is
with
when
the
Cody and
car,
Michael were
yeah.
like, and
Cody
I was
was,
like, bro, what are you
bro,
doing?
Cody literally was getting up and he was like, Michael, you just take Krish, you just take Krish. And I was like, bitch. I was like, I gotta go. And this is
Michael lives in
Like a
Bernie.
cute
yeah, this is
Yeah.
when
If y'all know Texas, Bernie's like 30 minutes away from our city.
yeah, this is after I basically moved into my house in Bernie. And I was like, bro, Cody, like I have to drive all the way back, like into another fucking city.
Yeah, oh,
Cody- Cody-
is freaking.
Cody was literally walking out. He was like, bro, just take him. Come on, like just do it. And I was like,
Dude,
bro,
Cody's a lazy bitch, bro. God
Cody,
damn.
bro.
More shots.
I kid
More
you
shots.
not.
Shots. Oh my gosh.
Bro, I kid
Yeah,
you.
Cody ran out of the house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember
You
this.
should have just went into his car
I
and just stayed
remember,
there.
bro. I remember specifically. Cody ran out. I followed him out, and
He,
Cody.
he
bro,
didn't even leave to go home. He circled around the block in the
Yeah.
neighborhood, and then he turned off his headlights and then watched Elijah get out of his house, get Krish in the car, and leave. And he watched them leave. He didn't even leave.
Bro.
He just sat outside.
Yeah, because I remember.
That's
I
ridiculous.
went after Cody. Like I was following him, and as I was like walking outside, he was already in his car backing up. Like, bro, this dude drifted out, and then like fucking went around the
Drifted.
block.
Tripped into the Subaru Forester.
And then I was like, bro, I gotta go. So I left. And then I guess Krish woke up Elijah because then Cody told me like, bro, Elijah's getting out of his garage. Like, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh man, dude.
Anyways,
Yeah. Anyways.
to close it out, 'cause I'm gonna have work in like half an
We gotta
I'm
wrap
like-
this up
hour. Wrap
because,
it up.
bro, this thing got out of hand. I was trying to have a civilized conversation on hoe culture.
You called it roast culture. That's how much you were talking.
Yeah, that's how much we were talking.
It's because it turned into roasting, bro. Like as soon as
Relationship.
I mean, that's
swear to
us.
God.
Yo, the roast
only
culture will be
roast.
on
This is
another
having an
one.
organic conversation. conversations. You said you want an organic conversation.
This is as organic as it gets.
This is what happens.
This is how bad our
Gotta get,
conversations
like-
veer.
Bro, this is
Someone's
like
gotta be like, yo, Sam.
Nick. This is like us making
We
plans.
try to do that, but like,
Bro, this is like squad making plans.
all right,
This is
let's
like
end
group
it.
chats,
Let's
man.
end it. Let's end it. Let's end it.
Okay.
I
Right.
want to close out with like
I mean,
Closing
any,
remarks.
like
yeah,
relationship,
just
like
everyone
advice
put a
or
quick
any-
closing remark because
Alright,
we
Nick.
kind of got off topic for a
Down
while.
line.
Let's start with Nick.
Damn, you're putting me on the spot.
Yeah, Nick. I mean, well, we all have different perspectives. Like Nick,
About
you're
what, though?
you're like on relationships and like hoe culture type shit, all that. You're the most recent out of a long term relationship. Krish hasn't had a long term relationship. Michael has, but he's been off for
Yeah,
a
I've been
while.
off it for
He's
like
been on the Tinder
yeah.
grind. I'm in a long term relationship, and Elijah's just chilling. He don't care about nothing.
yeah.
He just like whatever. We all that's all different perspectives.
Something like that.
You know what I mean?
Whatever.
Oh,
I like
That's
that.
how Elijah speaks.
It's whatever.
So you can start. We'll go around.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm fine with where I'm at. I'm finally like getting over the breakup, just cause like I think I haven't spoken to her in like almost since June.
Damn.
So it's almost been like 6 months, dude. And I've been feeling better and just like
Out of sight, out of mind.
yeah, bro. I'm feeling like I did in high school when I was single for like a while, and I was just like happy and like
I feel
just
like
doing like what's awesome
just with the boys.
and working.
With
Exactly.
the boys.
Yeah.
But yeah, but relationship advice wise, I would just like always communicate because that's really important. Because you don't want to be caught up in like how other people are.
You don't want to be a Jaden.
I didn't want to say that. Thank you for saying.
I sensed it. I knew you wanted
Okay.
to say. Oh my. All right.
But yeah, that's my 2 piece.
Okay.
Single life is going pretty good, but it'd be
Elijah.
kind of hard.
I mean, I don't have any relationship advice.
Just general
Just-
life.
Just
advice.
general life
I
I don't
advice.
have any to
Hoe
give.
advice.
I don't have any to give.
Hit me
Thought
up.
advice.
I don't have any to give.
Food
Life
for thoughts.
advice.
Hit you up.
Food,
Food for
food for
thoughts.
thoughts.
Oh yeah.
You gotta pay for them, bro.
Don't be-
Okay.
Bro, I'm
Krish?
gonna write that down.
Krish.
I don't know. I feel like I've been looking, haven't found the right one yet. I don't know. Just a process.
Shooting your shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You just chill.
if any of the viewers know anybody, plug me up. I'll be.
Pause.
Hey,
Pause, bro. Michael, go ahead, bro.
Cut that shit.
Hey, you gonna go leave Krish out like that?
Yeah,
No, that's it. That's
All
it.
right.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Cut
Alright.
cut that whole segment out of the podcast.
No, dude, that's coming out of the bloopers.
Alright.
We gotta make those monthly. Like,
Alright, Michael, go ahead.
oh damn.
I mean, with me right now, I'm kind of like Nick. How I kind of like how I'm coming into 2020. Like I'm working 2 jobs, 2 good jobs. I'm like getting back on my grind with shit. I'm not really talking to anyone. Like I'm kind of just like keeping low key.
Okay. Hello.
I don't. That's like my thing as I've learned, because I mean I did go through a phase where I was talking to a lot of people.
15
but
girls a week. They
but
all up on my.
at this point right now, I kind of am just like trying to fix myself and improve myself for this year.
That's good, Michael.
And like the next years to come.
What are your goals for this year, Michael? I know you were. I'm gonna like let you plug since Krish messed up his plug.
I mean, I'm honestly trying to start up my YouTube channel, like finally.
Bro,
I
you
wanna
gotta
get-
start that live stream.
Yeah,
that
I
you
gotta get
started,
that
like,
live
7
stream.
years ago.
I wanted to get into streaming too. not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna start up that channel. I already got like my whole setup going. I just need to get I'm probably gonna like get a better computer eventually. But I got my whole setup going. I do streaming on Mixer right now. That's all going actually pretty good for me. I didn't realize like how quickly I would get that setup going. I just need a couple other things. Other than that though, work's going well. I'm really just like I'm gonna try to just focus on myself and like just fix like myself, especially like things that I've kind of messed up in the past. And yeah, I'm just gonna kind of improve on myself and like do
Plug it
better. You could just plug it in the description.
No, yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
Josh, you got anything to say?
I mean, if we talking about all this, like, I feel like everything's cool with me.
Yeah.
Alright,
I-
check out K Plane Beats.
Yeah.
Check out Stitches McPasta on Mixer.
All my
Hey.
beats free.
Check out Josh is a Master on YouTube. Check out
out
Nick
Russia.
Barrera on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Check out Elijah on Tinder.
Check out Elijah just chilling.
Elijah has no social media.
He doesn't.
We can't
No.
plug
So
Elijah.
you can't hit him up.
Yeah.
We'll hit up his number.
You can just find him.
Just hit up one of us.
his number.
Do not.
So, we'll put y'all's Instagrams,
Yeah.
as always, in the description.
Oh,
Just check
yeah.
us out. That's about it. Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
fun.
Part 2 coming up.
I'd be interested to have a better conversation on the original
more
topic, and then have another one
Wait,
on.
what do you mean? The year?
No,
yeah.
that's
like
next week.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Hope-
whole
Because we got off topic really.
Yeah,
quick.
we did.
Yeah, I
get
kind of
on
wanted to
topic.
say some stuff about girls.
Yeah,
Leaving
so-
me on red, bro.
Yeah, we'll
Come
talk about that
yeah,
again.
we'll talk about that.
Not next week. We got something planned, but in the upcoming episodes, we'll talk about this again.
Do you want
better.
the squad for the year review or just like you and maybe
I don't know.
Jaden?
We could do the squad for the year.
All right. We can talk about this a little bit.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Just know year reviews next week. We'll talk about the relationship and girls and all that again with better conversations. Won't turn into
No
roast.
more tangents.
Yeah.
Guest.
Yeah, we'll try not to.
Better guests.
If on
Yeah.
YouTube, if on YouTube, leave us some suggestions in the comments.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Oh, and check us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Stay
if
away.
you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
If
check
you're
us
Stay
out.
away from the
Yeah,
roast.
if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, Google Cast, any of the like online podcast platforms, be sure to follow us on there. Leave a rating if you like the cast. Leave a review if you have any suggestions. Follow us on YouTube, anywhere podcasts listen to.
Give us
and,
feedback.
Yeah.
Comment good relationship advice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, comment your relationship advice.
You know, as always, roast Nick in the comments and
You say that every episode.
yeah. Yeah.
Um,
All right. Thanks for listening, guys.
All right.
peace.
Bye.